altura poderão colocar eventualmente questões que tenham surgido a partir da audição e do visionamento desta comunicação. E eu passaria então à apresentação de comunicações propriamente ditas desta primeira parte da sessão, ou deste painel, se quiserem, que é precisamente o tema das redes sociais e da cidadania, e passaria já a palavra à doutora Nina Lung, que prepara o seu doutoramento em Sociologia e Política em Berlim, e que nos irá falar da construção social de um público global. Eu penso que será melhor ficar aqui. I think it's best if you stay here. So you
Do
can
you
use
have something to...
Yes.
Okay.
You can use that microphone. Here.
Yeah.
So if you are moving, it will be probably best to use this one. You can use
But you don't have...
this is to put forward.
I can put it here.
Forward
Okay.
the point.
Thank you.
Probably that. So
Yeah,
I can
that's
use
fine.
something.
Then I go to this side.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. I have to admit I don't understand enough Portuguese to actually recognize now how you introduced me. I actually am from Berlin, from the Department of Sociology at the Technical University, and I'm working there in a research group where we study policy innovations. So we are interested in how new policy instruments come into the world and to study what makes them becoming more robust. And in this context, I'm personally studying public participation policy instruments. Well, today I just want to present a part of my PhD project where I studied a kind of a new phenomenon of not local or national, but global citizenship. And I think even if it is maybe it's kind of different from the other talks, I guess that this project I'm presenting maybe still can relate also to your project, which I think that it's very interesting in the sense of that there are certain problems that you have in all kind of coordination of public participation. So I hope I can somehow stimulate also your ongoing discussions with that. Maybe just to also explain my personal interest in getting in touch with you is that I will stay next year as a visiting scholar in Lisbon at the ISCTE, and I just wanted to somehow get in touch with people who are also studying public participation in Lisbon. I'm a sociologist and a political scientist, I gave for my talk the title The Social Construction of Nothing Less Than a Global Public, which also expresses already the ambitions of this new phenomenon, and it's about designing and organizing transnational participation process. And I can just present today some preliminary empirical results from my study. My research interest, as I already mentioned, is in the particular phenomenon of transnational designs for public participation. And there I'm interested in how designs are developed and implemented. And the particular interest there is in ready-made designs. With this I mean, for instance, designs for citizen juries, consensus conference, scenario workshops, participatory budgets, so all kind of instruments that are developed in a standardized way and where the assumption is that they can be implemented in very many different contexts. And there I'm interested in the kind of difficulties that unfold when you have a standardized approach and you want somehow organize very different local contexts with this. So I'm interested in the hidden politics and unintended effects in these processes. And to make you familiar with this phenomenon of transnational public participation, I just gave some background information about this. It started actually in the mid of 2000 that on a pan-European level, first experiments started to take place. So they were on different policy issues, participatory exercises where citizens all over Europe were integrated in public participation processes. I mentioned here a few examples. And the first global experiment took place in 2009 as the Worldwide Views on Global Warming process. And it was just repeated now in this year as the Worldwide Views on Biodiversity process. And obviously it is still a very new kind of public participation experiment. And there I also see my contribution to. I think it's quite relevant to have kind of experimentation also on a global level, since policy issues, policy problems, and a lot of politics are nowadays globalized, and actually public participation so far has not played a big role here. But also with this very early experimentations, of course it is necessary to reflect critically what's going on there and what kind of particular inscriptions of the role of citizens, but also of the countries and the local cultural contributions are made there. So the particular case I studied now was actually the one that I mentioned as the last one.